Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dash League. I'm your caster, Gravix here, bringing you directly into the action of EMU versus JSTR. I'm so sorry for the delay, but we are hopping into it. It looks like EMU already around the bend here as we get started with our match cast time. Lucas Prime in here with the rockets already going off. Super excited to see how we're going here for the Dash League playoffs. It's super exciting. Looks like he could get a couple of kills on cart here if he lands these rockets. Does take out Kodak. Which is going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes down. Just give you guys this beautiful rocketer POV as we move on. I'm sorry if the quality... Alright, looks like EMU's got 1 minute left. Could be a pre-check here. Sorry again for all the scuffness. I was just playing with my buds and I was like, oh no, JSTR needs a cast. It's the least I can do right now. Looks like we see some offensive rockets coming out. Let's take a look at some of what blue side's doing here. We're going to see Shingeki directly respawning and ready to go into shield room here. Looks like he's going to push around towards blue spawn. Not see anybody. Checks the dash trails. Does go down to cosign from the little sneak kill here. 15 seconds left. EMU only at 25%. It looks like this cast is going to start with a pre-check. JSTR getting the pre-check on EMU with their fun guest player here. I think it is. Let me just check the stats again. Yeah, Luctimus is going to be our player from FAQs in our 3v3 league, helping out JSTR tonight. Very grateful for him as Jonius had to step down due to unforeseen burning circumstances. If you aren't aware, you guys can check hashtag announcements. Jonius' house did unfortunately burn down due to an electric fire. He'd really appreciate anything that you could donate at the GoFundMe. LinkedIn announcements, a couple of announcements back. If any of you in chat are feeling generous enough. As we get started on the JSTR blue side here, we're going to see cosign sitting on cart. It looks like he's going to see the red, tag a little damage, but able to get the kill. Does go down to Damaju, who goes down to Reacher, who's going to be back on cart here. Great second to cart as JSTR double stacks down this first area for a hot second and moves along. Looks like Reacher backing up for a second, going into house, grabbing the dash, and it looks like actually coming back to the cart here as most disruption is going well. Let's take a look and see what Goofball's doing over here. JSTR Goofball with a 2 kill with the shocks in shield room. Great job on him. Trying to get what he can. Takes out Shingeki as well. Misses the dash twice, so it looks like he's stuck down here for a second. Falls off again due to possible stick drift. I'm not 100% sure of his situation, but those gold shocks really putting in work right now as JSTR turns the cart corner to get to 15% of the map with 5 minutes left on the clock. JSTR doing a great job right now of keeping pace, keeping cart and objective focused as they move along. Obviously, JSTR started. Red side did get that pre-check and gets this, and Goofball gets the suicide on Kodak. Shingeki, we can see him here sitting with double shotguns over by the rail here. Very interesting strategy to see. Looks like he's gonna be waiting for somebody to be in shield room here. Sees Reacher, immediately takes him out and blows him across the map. Cosign as well, going down to the rampaging shotguns of Shingeki. Goofball gonna take him out with these shocks. They'll get another one, and he goes down to Firehorse with the rockets. Cosign gonna get another, go down to Firehorse, who's doing wonders with these rockets now on a 3-kill streak. Could possibly get card again if it ever reloaded, and he goes down to our 3v3 player, Luctimus Prime. Looks like he's gonna be able to get another kill on Shingeki as well. Now, and it looks like JSTR is going to reach that 26% kind of get that free ride all the way across, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you saw him just go all the way across. I'd say that's kind of a free ride right to the goal there for Jesters. Let's take a look at these scores to see what we kind of missed here. Damage Juke at a top score for Jester and top kill as well. 27 kills, 26 deaths, and a score of 2,961. And on the Jester side of things, it looks like we have our top killer of the match, Reacher, with 32 kills, 16 deaths on our top scorer as well, with 4,001 points. Phenomenal job to both these teams. It looks like Jester's taking our first map of Launchpad, and I think now we are moving on to Quarry. I'm gonna double check that right now. If you don't know that, here's our little fun DLN shrine. Obviously, the playoffs. Jester and Walker tier. It looks like we are. It looks like we are going to be going to Quarry next. Yes, one of our bigger payload maps. Gonna be very interesting to see how this goes down here with Jester and EMU's modified loadout. So I wouldn't be shocked if we are switching servers here in just a second. So I will hop over to the waiting screen in just a moment. I'll also get a couple other things going like chat and such. Hold up, no, I don't need this page. I need to go to here. Yeah, so it looks like we are going to be switching servers, so I will be right back with exactly what we need to go over to the Quarry. JKMU. Hello everybody and welcome back to Dash League. You're just joining us. I'm Gravix here with EMU versus Jester. We're a little late to the party as of the announcement and a couple other things, but we are still here. And ready to roll. We just got done our launch pad for any new joiners here. We just got done our launch pad. Jester was able to take the win by catching up to that 26 percentile that EMU had set in the beginning. A quick pre-check. Looks like it saved the day very easily. Sorry, I'm trying to find just something real quick to put up so you guys can see me with my camera. What am I downloading? There we go. Alrighty. Hey, look, everybody. It's me, Gravix, here in the lobby, ready to go for Jester versus EMU. We are now on EMU's home servers of Sydney, Australia. We're going down under, if you will. Looks like Jester is about ready to go with, of course, our Quarry. One of the bigger domination maps. Gonna be very interesting to see how things play out here. Taking a look at these lineups, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens this second game here. EMU bringing in Damaju, Kodiak, Firehorse, Shingeki, and Tony Redgrave. While Jester bringing in Cosine, Zuyinu, Reacher, Goofball, and Luctimus Prime. Now you may be wondering, hey, who's this Luctimus Prime guy? I didn't see anything about him in roster changes. I thought rosters were locked. Luctimus Prime is a player for FAQs, the team on the 3v3 team, participating in their playoffs, by the way. Go watch if you can. And he was, and yes, this is all legal. Check with the board. I can read you exactly what was said in Casters in Training. Anybody can verify this. Luctimus from FAQs is playing for Jester, and EMU has somebody who didn't sign up on the website he was playing. Not Gollum chimed in and said, board has approved this for various extremely unexpected and accentuating circumstances. One of those circumstances could unfortunately be Jonas's home burning down due to an electrical fire. If you have anything to spare, any change, please go look at announcements to the GoFundMe and go donate some to Jonius. He'd really appreciate, him and his family would very, very much so appreciate the help here. As we get started with our Quarry, giving Firehorse the good to go, as it looks like. We are ready to get started with EMU versus Jester. Quarry, let's get it rolling, Dash League Nation. Let's get it going. Let's get started watching Damaju as we roll right in to the action. Looks like you're gonna see him immediately pushing tunnel, ready to go, jumping in. Damaju gonna get these double SMGs here. Grab a headshot already. Gets extremely low though, and he is gonna grab it right now. EMU in control of most of the buttons. An immediate counter at B by Jester, showing that EMU did have the control. Luctimus Prime is going to be able to get the sneaky kill around the corner. It looks like he's learning very fast. He is playing up to snuff with these players. That's something you really do like to see. And I think that's something that's very, although not very good in the playoffs, I think this is something very cool that we're seeing. One of these newer players who've been picking up the game very recently actually playing for a professional Dash League team. He's playing in the big leagues. It must be really cool for him. He has to be having his communications tested as Jester gets a countdown here. Damaju gonna try to get a couple of shots and does. And EMU gets the double counter at A and C. Jester taking back C now. Now I'm shocked we haven't been seeing too much of an EMU advantage here as the ping is heavily in their favor. And with a match as far as NAE to Australia, it could very much be sided in the server goer's favor here. Hence why we'll be playing a double control. But right now, Jester gets a countdown. All of EMU is up, gets countered at A. Kodiak rotates around. Looks like he's gonna grab the pickup here. For that golden staple. The golden staple, we actually don't see that very often at all. Very shocking to see here. He's gonna dash straight through the tunnel, get right in the C here. As he's going in. Looks like he hasn't seen anybody yet. Gets a couple of shots off. Does take out Reacher. Gets the button. No countdown yet, though. Looks like EMU doesn't really have much of a lock on B. Let's take a look at some of this action that is in B, though, shall we? The fuck? Looks like we're immediately getting countered. Take a look at some of the B action here with Cosign on the Jester side of things. It looks like he's going to be waiting up on a sneaky little pillar here. Waiting for somebody to dash in. Try to take the button from Jester. One thing that I can say about Jester this match is that they've had a very dominant control on B here. Even as soon as one person takes it, Cosign gets in there, swoops it out, and takes the kill. Looks like the kill is going to go in, and Cosign again going to swoop in for that button. There's a countdown for Jester. 4 up. EMU's going to be able to counter at A. Jester's defenses on A don't seem to be very strong here. So they really have to focus on getting these wipes. Because every single one of these pushes have been countered because just too many players have been up at one time. I think every countdown for Jester so far has had at least 3 members of EMU alive. And that's not something you really want here in a push like this. Especially in as high stakes as a game as this. Loser is unfortunately going to be dropped out of the playoffs here. So this is really life or death for both of these teams here. Jester, I think this is their first season competing. EMU, been around for a very long time, since the dawn of Dash League time, possibly even. So it's very interesting to see them play out against these new teams. It's the newbies versus the old heads. Very interesting to see. Lots of new names on Jester as well. We see Cosign take back B here. He's gonna, looks like he could rotate. No, he's gonna go back to this B spot. Let's take a look and see a little bit at what Kodak is doing here for EMU. Grabbing the dash pickup. And it looks like staying at A, taking out the threat, which he does. Looks like Jester's gonna get a countdown again. All 5 team members are up. Kodak. EMU gonna get the counter. Can't get the countdown. Only 1 left. EMU with the countdown reaches the last one that's alive. He's gonna be able to get the counter. Holy crap. EMU gonna get countered again because most of Jester is still alive. Here's all the action. There we go. Now we'll be able to see all the action with our beautiful auto countdown viewer on the beautiful Hyperdash mod courtesy of Gale, however you want to say. He's a beautiful man with an even beautifuler skill for software development. So please give him your thanks whenever you see a cast with these beautiful quality of life improvements, like our wonderful kill streak here being seen by Damageu here. As he sits in the corner, tries to regen some dash before he pushes in. Jester with B and C. Looks like he's going to push in. Gets 1, gets 2, and goes down for that 4 kill streak final. Damageu respawns here. Gonna shoot out the alleyway a little bit. Doesn't get the kill. Does take out Luctimus Prime in the end, though. Runs out of dash, and it looks like he's got to wait for this pickup to go in. His bullets go flying down the tunnel. Does get the cross-tunnel kill on Zuinu, though. Reacher with a countdown. 4 of EMU left, and it looks like that problem's coming back as to where they don't have enough people up. EMU taking B. And A back now. Reacher still in the base, though. Not going to see Tony Redgrave. Looks like he's going to go down. Jester taking B back for themselves as EMU just holds their base. Huge skirmish, it looks like, on B. Let's take a look here as rockets are flying. Bullets are piercing. And Blue takes back B. Jester taking that B button again. Damageu not dead yet. Does go down. Jester taking that B button again. Goofball doing a great job on B defense with the rest of his team here. As it looks like we're gonna see an A push. Getting taken out by Damage Reacher though. Gonna be able to get a couple other picks. Takes out Tony Redgrave. There's a countdown for EMU. 3 people left. Firehorse gonna counter again. Another countdown, an EMU countdown coming out of nowhere. With all those buttons being pressed, but Jester flips it in their favor again at EMU. Not only has control of A. Because I'm going to get the button here. There's a countdown. 4 people up for EMU, and it's going to get countered. Another Jester countdown, and people are going to stay up. This is the problem we're seeing with Jester. I cannot reiterate it enough. They just keep getting taken out. Because there's too many EMU people. There's too many EMU players here. There's another counter for EMU. 3 people up, and there's a countdown. And there's a counter. Alright. Looks like we're gonna see Jester take back that B button that they're so good at defending. We can see a little skirmish going on now, though. Let's take a look. As Firehorse dashes under and over towards Blue Jester's base here. Looking to take that C button. Being a little sneaky, playing a little stealthy. Not something you usually see in Hyperdash, but his teammates are there, so it looks like he's going to stay in these hiding spots now. Firehorse knows his way around these maps. Our resident expert caster, exactly knows where these little hiding spots are. You've seen the pros play thousands of times. He knows where they are. Jester with these buttons. EMU taking back A and C in an advantageous position. But Jester immediately coming back to that flip-flop. Ooh, that was the 2 hardest buttons to get. Only need B, that mid button. And it looks like that's exactly where we're going to see Tony Redgrave push. Countered at B as Jester has most of their members still alive, and Jester taking back that more favorable position. I guess EMU gets a countdown, close on the last one up, still gets the counter, and his teammate comes back before another counter happens. Damage you. 4 up, EMU gonna have a countdown, immediately gets countered at C, and it looks like that push has been diffused. Never mind. EMU gonna go full force on B right now. Looks like there's 2 players on B. One's gonna push in, immediately cross 7 if you're looking at our mini-map here. It looks like we're getting some skirmishes in the tunnel here. Firehorse gets a countdown, goes down to Luctimus. Sorry, so that for a second. Is Jester gets a countdown, 4 up. Countered again by EMU. Actually, I think there were only 2 up that time. But still, the EMU counters are... Jester gonna get the countdown. 4 left up for EMU. 2 go down. There's the last second counter by Firehorse. EMU staying in it with all they can, trying to keep their lives in these playoffs. We are 10 minutes into the match. We get going here into our back half. Looks like our 3v3 players here are coming out to watch their buddy Luctimus play, representing the 3v3 league on Jester here. Gonna get countered to EMU again at the last second by Shingeki. Sorry, a little hydration break there. Chat, don't forget to drink your water or whatever your preferred drink of choice is. Especially while playing VR, you need to be sure to stay hydrated. One of the most important things I can tell people is to stay hydrated while playing VR. Trust me, it's a strain on your eyes, a strain on your brain. Your brain needs water to function here, so. Continuing the trend of Jester's countdowns and EMU's counters. Cosine goes down to Tony or damage you. No, I think Cosine went down to Tony Redgrave. Reacher gonna come in here. Swipe the countdown. 3 up. Damage you immediately gonna drop in. Right now, what I'm seeing Jester needs to do is hold the button and get a couple of counters here. As the double counter comes out and Jester gets that B button back. EMU flipping it right back. Looks like EMU only with A left. Jester taking that B button permanently. Lucimus goes down. Damage is gonna get that button. Get a countdown. 3 left. 2 left for Jester. This could be EMU's point. No, a last second counter. There's another EMU countdown. 4 up. Does get countered at C. And it looks like that's the end of the EMU push here. Never mind. Firehorse gonna try to get a couple of kills. Goes down to Lucimus Prime. And we're gonna see that push finally be defused. As we see a couple of fights in tunnel here. Damage you is gonna try to make his way towards that C button again. Try to get redemption for that last round. There's the immediate counter from Jester as EMU has Jester 1 left. Reacher does get the counter and lets the rest of his team respawn. Cosine, last one up, gets taken out, and that's the point for EMU with 1 singular team wipe.
Match starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, let's take a look. See damage you here, the one from with the last kill in the game. Gonna get into a fight in tunnel, takes out Lucimus without taking a lot of damage though. As Zuina comes and finishes the job, fighting a couple more players in tunnel here. Does go down to Tony Redgrave with these lethal shotguns. Tony Redgrave gonna let those shotguns respawn. It looks like he just has shotgun pistol. Takes out Lucimus Prime again. Grabs that second shotgun. Jester already with the countdown. 5 still up. And it looks like Cosine wasn't able to get his fingers off the trigger quick enough to get those kills. And EMU takes the counter. Only holding A now. As we see somebody pushing in here. Firehorse gonna get another countdown for EMU. This could be a snowball effect here as EMU gets another countdown. 4 of Jester are up though, and that is gonna be a counter at C. And the stopping of the push. As somebody pushes through the tunnel here, damage you immediately going down to a crazy headshot by Reacher. I saw a lot of sparks fly there. And that's what you love to see in Hyperdash, these crazy headshot plays. Lucimus Prime. I'm gonna check him out now. Looks like we're gonna see a countdown from Jester. EMU thinking about defusing that push as soon as possible. Something very good that EMU seems to be good at is just making sure they have people always by their base ready to defuse these pushes whenever needed. It's Tony Redgrave. Comes in here and grabs these SMGs. There's a countdown for EMU. This could be another point here. 1 goes down. He's button holding. And it looks like it's going to be countered at the last second. Not before Tony Redgrave, though, gets in there, gets 1 kill, gets immediately countered by Jester. Tony Redgrave on a 5-kill streak. They go down. EMU with the countdown immediately gets countered. Gonna see Firehorse respawn here in a safe base. So we see a couple people from Jester making sure they can defend. It looks like we're gonna see somebody come through the tunnel here. Try to fight Lucimus, takes him out. Takes a bunch of damage though and does go down to Goofball. We see in the tunnels here going down to Kodiak. Who trades again with Zuinu. Couple of shots going out. A peek coming out from Zuinu. And he does go down to damage you. So he's certainly living up to his name here and damaging everybody else with a whopping 58 kills and 25 deaths. So almost double his deaths and kills. So he's doing great for himself here, as only one of the few players going positive in this match. Jester with the countdown, 3 left up. Goofball not gonna be able to hold the button, and it looks like Emu's gonna be able to get the counter here at A. Shingeki takes him out, even while being insanely low HP. Looks like Jester's gonna get a countdown here. Sorry, I got caught up reading the chat. EMU gets the counter here. There's a countdown for Jester. And it looks like they are gonna be able to get the point. Kodiak just barely not gonna be able to hit that button. And the game is now tied. Phenomenal positioning by Jester. Looks like they were able to come in here and clutch up for just a second. Let's take a look at what some of their players are doing here in this. Coming into this second point. It doesn't look like EMU was able to capitalize on their first point. Let's see if Jester is able to do that. And possibly get a snowball effect going here with about 5-6 minutes left in the entire match here. Jester immediately with the countdown. Is it going to get countered by Firehorse? Yes, last second countered by Firehorse. Looks like he has staples. It is going to go down. Jester getting countered again, but they have some phenomenal pushes onto A here. As we see somebody pushing through main. Looks like it's going to be Cosine taking the button. Doesn't immediately get countered by Shinjeki, but the rest of the team of Jester is there. Keeps pressing this button, applying constant pressure, and most importantly, keeping EMU spawn locked down. Looks like all 5 are back up, though, and starting to disperse themselves across the map here. Goofball is gonna go down to Kodiak and these lethal SMGs. Kodak. Gonna stay in the base, make sure there's nobody pushing, and it looks like he could cycle around here to try to get himself. Oh, there's Uinu. Gonna immediately get countered. Kodiak sitting in the base here again. Phenomenal idea here by him. It's something you don't really see often, but it seems to be working very well against a team like Jester, where they just push in as one person. Not the whole team is one person. One person pushes in. It's very easy to defuse on EMU's part of things. That's what M-dubs, or not M-dubs, that's what, trying to find the name. Looks like Jester gonna get countered again. That's what M-dubs was saying. Oh, Jonas, sorry. No, that is Jonas. Okay, I'm being dumb. There's the quick counters from Jester, something they've been excelling at recently. Making sure they haven't gotten many points scored against him. Even with the countdown, though, 4 members of Jester up. Are they going to be able to get to a button? Yes, Suinu does get there. Haha, Rich, me too. Hopping on Hyperdash is something that I can't really do now. Life gets in the way sometimes, but whenever I do, I always think of these matches, and well, sometimes I check them out and watch the whole thing, but I digress. Looks like EMU's gonna be able to get a countdown here. Immediately gets countered by Reacher, though. Doing a great job of countering as we enter the 3.5 minutes left mark. Could be seeing a sudden death here if no other points get scored, but Kodiak gonna grab the B button here. Kodiak kind of cracked with these SMGs. Taking out Cosine and taking back B. He could be setting his sights on C here to try to secure EMU the second point. And most likely the win unless Jester is able to grab a point in the next 3 minutes. But we'll see what goes down here. As time almost runs out, EMU holding buttons. It looks like Jester is still able to counter though. Jester countering these EMU pushes.
Red team scores 3. Blue takes A. Red takes C.
Jonah's saying that's a nasty foothold, and I'd have to agree here. EMU has 2 buttons here and just does keep wiping out players here. This could be EMU's time to grab a second point, but Goofball is going to be able to take him out and possibly defuse this push here. If this one last member does go down, and it looks like he does. But more members of EMU are going to keep trickling in here and possibly getting fights picked. As it looks like most of Jester starts to advance onto B. So there's a huge skirmish going down here. Kodak gonna take out Goofball, possibly take on another though, but he has to wait for that lengthy reload time and go down. Zuinu gonna counter that countdown set by Shingeki. As he respawns, let's follow his journey to the C button. As he hops on the rail, he stops by C. You can hear the bullets being shot off. While everyone's playing, he goes down to his natural predator Cosine. Sorry, I had to bring out the inner David Attenborough / Australian in me for this APAC versus NA match. As Reacher pushes into C. Looks like Emu's gonna get a countdown. Gets immediately countered by Jester. Looks like they could force a sudden death here. There's 45 seconds left on the clock. We could easily see a sudden death here if a point doesn't happen in the next 30 seconds. Looks like Jester's just gonna hold this button. Goofball holding here. Looks like he could be waiting out this sudden death, which we could be seeing momentarily, but I have to be right back to attend to an emergency really quickly. I'll be right back with the sudden death.
Red takes B. Blue takes B. Red team. Blue takes red. Red team. Skull counter. Red team. Counter. Time's up. Match starts in 3, 2, 1. Sudden death.
The sudden death has begun as I return to my chair and we get started with Damage here. Jester could be getting it right here. This could be it. It's switching. Everything's going down. Tony Redgrave gonna push in here. Not gonna be able to get a kill yet. Goes down to Cosine. Cosine against. It's a 1v1 Cosine and Reacher versus Kodak. That could be it. It looks like Jester is gonna take the points. Jester taking that insane sudden death and taking the playoffs win. Let's take a look at some of these scores, shall we? Very kill heavy game here on the part of Damage, as we've been seeing Zio going off saying that he is very cracked in Sydney for real. With 85 kills and 38 deaths and a score of 18,615, he is going to be our top killer and scorer of the match. Following in a close second is Cosine in the score department with a score of 17,552. And not as close, but tied for second in the kill department was, it seems like Goofball and Tony Redgrave, but I'm not 100% sure on those numbers. But whatever those numbers are, I'm happy you were all able to stick with me and to see them. as that was a phenomenal control point at the end. Very happy I was able to be here in cast, obviously. Very much. Huge congratulations to Jester. Doing Jonas's name right, fighting for him. Even through his tragedy and he's not able to play. Seems like he's still helping out with this team and cheering him on from the sidelines. EMU, phenomenal job. Always love to see him in the playoffs. Love some APAC representation. Very happy to see them being able to play. Super fun time for me. Sorry for the scuffed cast. None of the fancy playoff stuffs today, but I hope you all enjoyed. GG's to all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Those 3v3 players, I'm watching you. If you haven't subscribed yet, like the stream, comment on the video when it drops, subscribe, alright? I see y'all. Thank you all for watching. Go over and tune into Silliest Goose's stream. It looks like he's got control versus Southern Cross. Him and Humbles and Warnoose are all on the stream here. I'm gonna send off for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Go check out more Dash League Network streams. Peace out, everybody.